God is saying to you today, above all else, I hope you give yourself permission to believe that you are not defined by a person's inability to love you or by a person's inability to choose you. I hope you do not abandon who you are even though they did. I hope you do not neglect or tie on yourself even though they did. I hope you remember to love yourself better than they could. I hope you learn how to give yourself that kind of strength. I hope you remind yourself that you are rare, that you hold value here. I hope seasons of being misunderstood, of being unappreciated, do not cause you to see yourself through the eyes of those who could not celebrate you or support you. Above all else, I hope you connect with just how worthy you have always been. I hope you give yourself permission to be all that you are. Like this video, if you have a believe in God message for you tonight. As long as you have time, everything is possible in your life. Everything worthwhile takes time. Finding your people takes time. Making your dreams come true takes time. Creating your life's masterpiece takes time. Love takes time. Success takes time. Don't rush the process. You will never have to force what's destined for you. If you have patience with yourself, you will go far in life. You have to give yourself time to level up. Long-lasting things can wait. The best version of yourself can wait. It's okay if you feel like you are always waiting for brighter days. In the process of waiting, you will learn so many lessons. You will learn to let go of control. You will learn to go with the flow. You will learn to focus on the good. You will learn to think positively. The weather doesn't matter when you are carrying your own sunshine. The gray clouds will slowly fade away. Being at the lowest point in your life is only a temporary phase. With time comes healing, and with healing comes change. Your time will come. You make space for your bright future to show up by staying in the present. Beautiful things happen when you are willing to be patient. It may take a while, but what's meant to yours will never be late. Sunset comes to those who can wait. Sunrise comes to those who have faith. In time, it will all fall into place. Give it time. Keep hope alive. Take your time. Subscribe our channel if you believe in God. God is saying to you today, just always be the better person and make your intentions pure. What and who you are is what will be remembered. Pain is inevitable and it will always exist. But if you focus on understanding what you are and what you are feeling and why you are feeling it, you will overcome it. The expectations we have often do not correspond with reality. We are disappointed every time this happens. We become disappointed when we expect to be treated as we treat others. When you start to realize that everyone is living at a different stage, thinking differently, and making their choices, then you can only accept the fact that people do not share the same mind and heart. When you want to be happy, you have to let go of that and start with yourself. Be the person you can be proud of. Be an example. Show respect and understanding. Others may not change, but know that it is not up to you, and be proud of how you are. Type, I am ready to shine, to affirm. God says, if you would like to change your life, you must first change the way you think about your life. Thoughts are not just thoughts. They are bridges and doors and entryways and foundations. They magnetize and repel. They can build a house and tear it down. They can energize momentum or keep you idling within your own little world forever. Thoughts are investments, and they are decisions. The mind will generate an endless series of options, some inspiring and others terrifying, and so you must choose. You must choose what you will return to, what you will believe in, what you will place weight on. Because thoughts create feeling, and feeling creates desire, and desire creates action, and action creates reward, and reward creates more desire. And before you know it, a thought became the torch that led you down the path that is your life. If you would like to change your life, you must first change the way you think about your life. There never was another way. Type 777 if you trust God. Universe message for you today. You have to chase the things that ignite you. You have to do the things that bring you joy. You have to surround yourself with the people who bring you back. Feel like you home to yourself, with the people who respect you and embrace you in ways that make you are worthy and accepted and loved. You have to do the work to heal yourself, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts, so that you do not continue to approach your life within the boundary of what is heavy within you. You have to put yourself out there, and you cannot worry about what other people think. You cannot rob yourself of experience or happiness or inspiration because you are scared of how you will be perceived. You have to be unapologetic in the way that you exist here. You have to believe that your ideas and your hope and your being deserve to take up space. You have to believe that you have purpose, because our existence is finite. And as hard as that is to understand, as hard as that can be to connect with, from time to time, remind yourself that in the human way, we are all living on borrowed time. Type yes to claim. God says the toughest times teach you the most valuable lessons. They show you realities that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. They push you to seek your own being, to listen to the voice within yourself when there is no one around to listen to. It teaches you the dangers of dependency on a soul other than your own, and distinguishes between the people who are here for you from those who are here for the phase that is for you. The toughest times are often the most painful because more often than not, they do not abide by the expectations you hold. People do turn their backs on you. You do lose what you felt you had a firm grasp on, and often you come to realize that you do not even understand your own being the way you thought you did. Yet the toughest times are equally valuable in the knowledge they give you of the nature of this world, its people, and your own being. Such times refocus you, redirect you, and pull you off one path and put you on another. They are painful in nature and valuable in the waiting of knowledge. Type 777 to receive it. Angels are saying to you today, one important thing to remember as you get older is that it's totally normal to go through phases of connection and disconnection. In phases of disconnection, it's common to feel isolated, lost, or alone. Things can change so much in your 20s and 30s. People start to settle down, move away to new cities, and do what they need to do to build their future. It's only natural to feel lost or alone when there is so much change surrounding you, and you can see your life changing from what it was to what it is now. Don't overthink these emotions. Understand that it's all part of your ever-evolving journey. Understand that the way we process all of these changes is different for everyone. Understand that it's totally normal to feel all kinds of different emotions through this transitional period. And most importantly, know that no matter how alone you feel, you have so much support behind you. Type 888 if you are ready. Angels are saying to you today, I think you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful in the way you hold yourself against all odds, how your eyes gleam with self-love and affirmation, despite the questioning glares, despite the negativity, despite the hurdles, the emotional turmoil, despite the messiness of life. I think you're beautiful when you don't feel it, when you look at yourself in the mirror and notice the tiny imperfections that adorn you like jewels, and your lips curve into a thin smile that doesn't reach your eyes. You don't feel beautiful or perfect or enough, but for me, that's when beauty engulfs you. I think you're beautiful because of your mind. The clutter of your thoughts challenges and pushes boundaries. Your mind makes you intellectually graceful. I think you're beautiful because of your heart. It throbs with kindness and love, and it gives and gives until there is nothing left for itself. The most beautiful thing about you are your eyes. They shine with strength and fragility. They shed more tears of sadness than they do of happiness, but they never fall short of sprinkling affection everywhere they go. I think you're beautiful when you're trying not to be, because that's when your beauty is effortless. That's when I can see it the most. When you try not to be anything other than yourself, that's when you're the most beautiful to me. Type 11 if you needed this. Universe message for me. you'll need to accept that life goes in seasons, that emotions come up in order to be heard, felt, and acted upon. Or accept that sometimes you can't do one more moment of self-inquiry and must read a novel or watch a show or call your funniest friend instead. Sometimes you're in the growth phase of your life, and sometimes you're in the living phase. It's important to know which one you're in, so you can be there when you're there. You need to accept that there's no finish line. You won't ever be immune to pain or heartbreak, or the sting of rejection, or the shrinking of comparison, or the cocoon of sadness. There's no perfect place you can arrive at where the tap of your emotions can be turned off. It doesn't exist, so please stop striving for perfection when what you really want is acceptance, to be where you are when you're there. Be in the flow of your life. Wield your own acceptance like the magic it is. Soften toward it all. Grow when called to it. Hibernate when needed. And when it's your moment to rise, take it, enjoy it, deserve it. Type, "I claim it," if you receive this declaration. God is saying to you today, I hope you learn to love the person you have become. In the moments that you are alone, I hope you learn that you have everything within you to comfort yourself. You don't always have to lean on another human for comfort. You don't have to search for outside sources to find peace. It's uncomfortable to be alone when you're not used to it. It's uncomfortable to sit in the silence with your own presence and just be. But one of the best, most life-changing things you can learn is to be alone, to love your own presence, to not need another human to make you feel better. Once you learn to love and take care of yourself, you can do anything. You can change your life. You can live your life in a way that doesn't fill your soul with the regrets. You can go to bed every evening and be proud of something that you did that day, even if it feels small. Life isn't about how much you get done every day. Life is meant to be lived in a way that fills your soul with a collection of moments that make you so grateful to exist. Subscribe our channel if you believe in God. Universe Message. The truth is, we won't always end up with those we feel something deep and meaningful with. Some chapters of our lives are full and dizzying in the best way, with concrete endings and concrete closure. But some chapters end quickly, sometimes in the middle of the page, sometimes before we are even ready. We cannot control what comes to fruition in our lives. We cannot control how long someone chooses to love us. We can not control how long someone chooses to stay. At the end of the day, all we can do is learn from the endings. All we can do is embrace the fact that for a moment in time, we felt something beautiful. For a moment in time, we felt something rare. Type 333 if you have faith on Lord. God message for me today. You're going to realize it one day. That happiness was never about your job or your degree, or being in a reel-a-tie-on ship. Happiness was never about following in the footsteps of all of those who came before you. It was never about being like the others. One day, you're going to see it. That happiness was always about the discovery, the hope, the listening to your heart, and following it wherever it chose to go. Happiness was always about being kinder to yourself. It was always about embracing the person you were becoming. One day, you will understand that happiness was always about learning how to live with yourself, that your happiness was never in the hands of others. It was always about you. It was always about you. Type, I am ready to shine, to affirm. God message. The most attractive thing about you should have less to do with your face and body, and more to do with your heart and how you treat other people. Let's face it, we see an appearance first and have our first impression based on an appearance. Our appearance is where we can hide behind. But an appearance does not say anything about a character. Nowadays, it seems that we judge each other on our appearance. Who we are and what we stand for does not seem to matter. No effort is made to get to know the person behind an appearance. It is our own mental attitude which makes the world what it is for us. Our thoughts make things beautiful. Our thoughts make things ugly, not our eyes. The whole world is in our minds. Learn to see things in proper light. Learn to see souls instead of bodies by using your mind instead of your eyes. Type, I am becoming aware to affirm. God says, I want you to be different than yourself now, but not the same as everyone else you see. Tell yourself to be better, but not because you want to be better than someone else. Mold into your own shape, but not in the same. Mold everyone else uses to grow. Aim in the direction that your path follows, but not what your friends follow. Allow yourself to have setbacks, but do not be scared of what set you back in the first place. See the same goal that I have today, but not in the same spot that I am looking at it from now. I want to recognize you, but not feel as if I am looking in a mirror once again. I know you will be humble, but not crumble under the pressure that your past self has put on you. You will thrive at your own pace as a winner of your own race, but not win to gain glory or fame. I will see you, but not physically or in present time. In that time, you will exceed what I have dreamed for years, but do not forget me, because I am where you started, and the voice of encouragement in your ears. Type, I'm gentle with myself to affirm. God says, I know how difficult it is to continue to be this kind of person when love hasn't always been kind to you. I know what it is like to have a heart that cannot stop pouring, to have a heart that sometimes feels like it is too much. I know that you can overthink your sensitivity, and I know that it can be something you have been convinced that you have to silence. But I am proud of your heart. There is something deeply beautiful when you discover the kind of person who makes you believe in the goodness of others. There is something deeply beautiful when it comes to seeing someone who is genuine and kind, someone who makes people feel seen, someone who makes people feel deeply loved for who they are, in all of their light and all of their dark. It is beautiful to be the kind of person who cares, to be the kind of person who stays open, who believes in going deeper, because we need souls like that. We need people like you in this world. We need softness. We need people who remind us of connection when we are all avoiding eye contact. I am proud of you for being this person in this world. The way that you love others is inspiring. You do not need to apologize for the way you feel. You do not need to apologize for how your heart exists here. There is courage in being the person who connects. There is bravery in staying open despite what you have been through. You should be proud of yourself for loving. Please don't ever stop. Type 2222 if you believe this. God is saying to you today, even at your best, you will not be good enough for someone who does not have the capacity or the will to love you. And while there is a very human part in each and every soul that leaps towards needing to prove ourselves, to care more, to try harder, just to demonstrate our worth, at the end of the day, if another human being does not see the value that is pinned and blooming within you, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how hard you fight for someone who isn't fighting for you. It doesn't matter how deeply you show up for someone who isn't showing up for you. It doesn't matter because those souls don't actually see you. If they did, they would respect you because you deserve to be respected. They would value you because you deserve to be valued. They would honor your heart. They would protect it. Don't ever forget that the right people will choose you. They will see you. They will dive into the depth of you. And you will never have to force those connections. You will feel at peace. You will always be good enough for them. Anything else is not for you. Sometimes the root of feeling not good enough comes from holding yourself to someone else's ideal rather than your own. Remember that you are the only person who gets to decide if you are good enough in this world. You are the only person qualified enough to determine your value. Please do not put your happiness or your self-love or your belief into the hands of other people and their validation. Do not make it contingent on their acceptance of you or their willingness to love you or care for you or choose you. All you have to focus on is building the kind of life that is yours and yours alone. All you have to do is focus on building yourself into the kind of person you are proud of. You are a direct reflection of your worthiness here. Nothing can externally dictate that. Nothing has that power unless you give that power of yours away. Don't give that power away. Make yourself happy on your own terms. Type 1111 if you believe this.